So far, we've looked at just isolated elements of music. We've looked at chords, we've looked at scales, we've looked at intervals, pitches, rhythms, this type of thing, but we haven't looked at how these things are combined together. And to really make music, what we need to do is take small things and combine them together to make bigger things. This chapter, chapter 6, is about melodic organization, and it's really about taking small musical nuggets and combining them together in ways to create larger ideas or musical thoughts. The smallest musical idea is called a motive, and that's what we're going to look at first. Motives are musical ideas that are really short. Oftentimes, they're smaller than a measure long. They could be 2 measures long, they could be, slightly longer, but they're usually smaller than that. Here's a little bit longer one here. The thing that's most important about motives is that they happen throughout the piece of music. It's not like they just happen one time. In this motive, for instance, this Beethoven one, it happens there, and then it happens again. Here we hear it mostly as rhythm. Da 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 da. There's different intervals happening with it. Third there, and not pictured here. A second. Then it jumps up further and does another descending third. So it's using different types of intervals, but that same da 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 repeated rhythm. And this type of thing goes on throughout the piece. In fact, it actually happens even in another movement in the whole symphony. Since it happens throughout the entire piece, it's unifying. It makes the whole thing sound like a whole. And oftentimes, if you have a piece of music that doesn't sound very holistic and doesn't sound unified, well, if you simply just take a rhythmic idea and you keep doing that throughout the piece, it'll make the piece sound unified. So, as I showed you there, we have an idea that had a melody aspect. It was going down by thirds most of the time. But most important on that one really was this rhythmic idea. And yet, oftentimes, a motive will be rhythmic, melodic, or both. So, if you have a melodic one, it's characterized by a pattern of pitches. We're looking at this one here, this Rimsky-Korsakov, Scheherazade. And it has an idea, as you can see, that's really these movements of seconds. So here it goes, F sharp to E, but without the grace note. Next one. Next one. So it's like a neighbor tone figure. Up, down, up, down, up, with the grace note. And then a little bit more of a grace note beforehand. So like a variation on it. Then repeat. Whole thing. So this thing we can see here has these movements of seconds. But as you can see with the 16th to 8th, this happens each of the times too. 16th to 8, 16th to 8, 16 to 8, and again here 16 to 8. So the rhythmic element is really important. Here's another one here by Rameau. And this one's looking at, it's probably described more as a melodic motive because even though it does have rhythm, I mean here there's different stuff happening. Ultimately in the beginning it's just quarter notes the whole way. So what's going to stand out more is the melody. So what's happening, it's going down by seconds like this. Da 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 da. Here it goes down by a major second, and here minor second. C to B natural. It's got this little trill too. We can take that away. So this idea here is this downward moving of seconds. And there's really not much difference in rhythm, so it could probably be described more as a melodic sequence. Here, like as most often, you have a combination of melody and rhythm, right? We have a half note followed by quarters, half followed by quarters. So I'm going to look again for that. I don't see that half, half, half. No, half, half dotted. Oh, there we go. Half followed by quarter, followed by quarter. So even if I just played this by itself with one pitch, I hear that da, 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 long, short, short. Keep on hearing that part. With the pitches, here it's not motivic, but the da, da, da stuff comes out really clear. It's combining this rhythmic idea, long, short, short, with this melodic idea. Here it's stepping up and then skipping down. Step up, skip down, repeat. Non-motivic stuff. Jumping way up there. And now, with this A, stepping up to the B flat and skipping down. And repeat. Whole thing together. We can kind of separate things out too if we look at a melody here. I played the notes before on the same note, so we could just listen to the rhythm, and they've done that for you here too. I could just play what's right down here, this rhythmic motive, and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So here we're changing meters, starting in 3, going to 2. Da 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 da. Actually playing the melody. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's got a cool changing meter feel there. Same type of thing here. It's a rest da 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 da. Here we can clearly see the rhythmic element, and different stuff is happening all over here, right? Octaves, different intervals, scalar motion here. So it's jumping all over the place, right? First octaves, outlining a chord, now scale. Now it's jumping in large intervals. No matter what happens with the melody stuff though, the rhythm is always the same. Da 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 da. So after the first time, we get ready to hear it again. We anticipate this idea coming, this pattern of short things, and at the end of the measure, long thing. So typical rhythmic motive. Here we have a Mendelssohn piece where there's some repetitive stuff happening in the top areas in the treble clef, but there's some definite motivic stuff in the left hand in the bass, because we have these eighths followed by sixteenths. So 8th, 16th, 16th, and that goes on and on. Even though the notes change, the rhythm is the same. slow, quick, quick. The Chopin stuff happens, and there's some stuff that's probably called motivic too, and here in the right hand, da 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 here. Then later. So it's close. Here has a dotted note, and here doesn't. It's close enough where someone would probably hear it as rhythmic motive anyway. What they're showing you though is here in the left hand where it goes just quarter notes, and they're saying that it's a rhythmic motive. I don't actually totally agree. It's not as much a rhythmic motive as it is just the beat or pulse, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 straight quarter notes. So a bad example in my opinion. So no diversity in rhythm, same thing completely. And when there's no change in rhythm whatsoever, we just call that a meter or pulse. Here, da 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 da. Actually, a much better example of something that's motivic. Has variation in the rhythm. And it has a similar arch in the way the melodic and intervallic content progresses.